This video is to show you another way to do some factoring. This is called the FIFO method, factor in, factor out. This is a great method to use when your A value does not equal 1. Typically you can guess and check on these. If you're looking for a method to follow, you can try FIFO, factor in, factor out. First step of factoring always is just to look to see if you do you have anything that you can factor out of every term here? Always start with that. If I look at the 3x squared plus 10x plus 8, I can see that there's nothing to factor out of each term. So now the FIFO method. First we factor in, and what they mean by factor in is you take the A value and multiply it by the C value. So we are factoring in a 3. I'm going to use a little X over here just to help organize my work. We multiply the 3 times the 8 and we get 24. So we're factoring in the 3, multiply it by C to get 24. And now I'm going to pay attention to the middle term of 10. So what I'm looking for are factors of 24 that will add up to 10. So if I think of my factors of 24, you've got 12 and 2. Well, 12 and 2 do not add up to 10. 6 and 4, and that's when we say, oh yeah, 6 and 4. That works. So 6 times 4 is 24, and 6 plus 4 is 10. So our factors are 6 and 4. Now I go back and I start to write the problem. Here's the 2 sets of parentheses. Now that 6 and the 4, they're positive, so I'm going to have a plus 6 and a plus 4. And then here's the part that's going to seem a little bit different. What we put in our first spot is your A value. So that's a 3, so I'm just going to put a 3x and a 3x in both spots. So just to review, we factored in the 3, and that gave us, we multiplied the 3 times the 8, 24. Then we said, what are factors of 24 that add up to our middle term of 10? We came up with a 6 and a 4. We are rewriting it, that 6 and 4 plus 6 plus 4, and then here in the first spot we just put our A value, so 3x in both spots. Now you're probably looking at that and saying, that's not right. You know it's not a 3x and a 3x. So here's where the factor out part comes. When we factor in the 3, we have to factor out a 3 also. So I look at my 2 sets of parentheses, and I'm going to try to find the set where both terms can be factored by a 3. And I can see that it's this first one. So we're going to factor a 3 out of our first parentheses. If you factor the 3 out of the 3x, it leaves you with an x. Factor the 3 out of the 6, leaves you with a 2. And then our second set of parentheses will stay as 3x plus 4. And we have factored this. So factor in, factor out, FIFO. It gets faster the more you try it, but it gives you a nice way around the guessing and checking method.